You're listening to the Substation Gaming Podcast. I'm Black Chestnut. With me, I have Ricola.
Hi.
And today we are going to be talking about Kirby.
Yeah, just Kirby.
There was a new Kirby trailer.
It looks very pretty.
Showing off the release date.
Which is a lot sooner than I thought it would be.
I thought it would come out, not for, another month after this.
I was thinking maybe, even a summer release. Did they say spring before? Did I just remember it?
I don't remember if they said spring. I think they just said 2022.
Either way, nice to see it.
Yes.
So soon.
Considering that Splatoon 3 got announced before it.
Yeah.
And stuff. And it's releasing sooner.
Mm-hmm.
But they did that with Metroid too.
I suppose.
But yeah, to get into the trailer and all the cool new stuff it showed off. Because the first thing they showed off was some of the returning copy abilities,
Yeah, we opened with Bomb. Which,
yeah, it was Bomb, then they showed off Wind, Hammer, and then Crash.
Crash is cool, although I'm more of a fan of Mike.
Yeah, which I wonder how Mike will work in this one.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll opt to completely rework it.
Or could just not show up.
Yeah, it could just not happen at all.
It's missed a few games. It's one of those abilities. I think it's going to interchange both Crash, actually. They're usually just screen clearing.
Yeah. Although it's you could rework Mike to be more just an AoE attacks instead of being a 3-time use.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could be cool. I assume there's probably going to be some AoE stuff just to make 3D combat simpler.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by how simple a lot of the abilities still look in 3D.
Mm-hmm.
That was the biggest possible worry of this was, Kirby's intentionally for a baby could play it.
Yeah.
And this still looks pretty simple. I don't know, opening it up a bit more.
Yeah, I'm really interested to see how they incorporate a lot of other copy abilities, both new and old.
Yeah. Ooh, I'm trying to think of some weirdo ones.
I wonder how they're gonna handle fire.
Ooh, yeah.
It would be cool if you could walk and do the flamethrower attack at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like how it works in say Ratchet 1 with the Parasitor.
I could see it something you hold down and then you can aim while you're holding it down, just like that. You could just do a 360 around you with shooting fire.
Yeah, but more I mean be able to walk around while still shooting the fire.
Yeah,
that'd be fun.
It would be fun. So
I wonder how ice is going to be incorporated. And rock.
Rock. Yeah, rock. How do you make that work in 3D?
Ground pound attack.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine maybe it'll be similar to say the ice ability in Hand Time.
Okay.
But actually kills things.
Yeah, it's actually worth more than just diving boards.
Yeah, the ice ability in Hand Time's a little odd. You can use it to just make yourself invincible though, which has its uses sometimes.
Yeah.
Although a lot of times you'll just won't think to use it,
Yeah.
It's oh yeah, this boss's attack, I could just turn into the ice sculpture and then
or I could just dodge it.
Yeah.
I got time to switch hats. I'm too busy using Time Stop hat.
Exactly.
But was there any more returning abilities? I mean, we saw obvious ones sword, of course.
Yeah, I mean there was some shown off in the first trailer. I know they shown off Cutter.
Oh, we see Fire for a sec here, just in a little cutscene. He has the hat on.
Yeah, which one?
At around 38 seconds.
38 seconds. Okay. Oh yeah. He's wearing the hat.
So fire's going to be showing up.
Yeah, exactly. So I wonder how it's going to be implemented.
Yeah.
Because you got to imagine, like, all of the copy abilities are going to get reimagined, you know?
Yeah, it's fun to think about. I'm really curious. Some of them are going to, like, spark. I don't know. I'm just going to, like, run at people and hold down a button. It's just like a lot of these are like sound like weirder in 3D.
Yeah.
Yeah, cutter's probably the same as always. You just press a button.
You say that, but like just by changing it to 3D, it's gonna be different.
It's gonna be harder to aim. That's true. So
yeah. And it does beg the question of which ones will return and which ones won't make the cut, just because they couldn't figure out ways to implement them.
Yeah. You know, I was gonna say Parasol might make the cut, but Parasol's always kind of pointless. It's just in for fun. So that could actually just show up again. Why not?
I think they'll include Parasol. It feels too iconic to.
Yeah, exclude. Has that been around since Adventure? I think it has.
Yeah.
Huh.
Pretty sure it has. The only thing is, like, the Parasol is always dropped by Parasol Waddle Dees. Oh, and Waddle Dees aren't enemies in this one, so...
They're nice guys now that are imprisoned by birds. It looks like some crows are putting them in cages.
Yes. I think there was, like, an update on the website that explained the plot and the characters a bit more.
Oh, okay.
So, like, the villains in this game are, like, the Beastmen or whatever the frick? I'm not sure.
the ones from Gurren Lagann, those Beastmen, I hope.
Something like that.
Yeah. And there's a mouse thing helping you, I guess.
You're getting ahead of yourself. Anyway,
I am. I was just saying basic plot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen that post. I did not know that they...
I only skimmed through it. I don't really, like... It was like Beast Something was the title of the... They're mammal-based, okay?
Oh, just like Splatoon. We got like a new thing going on, I see.
Yeah. It kind of reminds me a lot of Squeak Squad.
Oh yeah, or if it was mice-themed.
Yeah.
Huh.
So... And, like, there's other stuff in the trailer later on that also gives me Squeak Squad vibes. So, I think there's going to be a lot of Squeak Squad in this game.
Squeak Squad's one of the only main series games I, like, never played.
Me neither.
I should.
Yeah, but to move on from the copy abilities, the next part of the trailer showed off the co-op.
Yeah. Which has...
Bandana Waddle Dee. The player 2. Luigi of Kirby.
Is Bandana Waddle Dee the Luigi of Kirby?
Well, ever since you replaced Gooey, yes.
Poor Gooey.
Get out of here, Gooey.
Gooey's cool. He's got a tongue. No, but, you know, Bandana Dee looks cool in here. You can, like, aim his spear with, like, a crosshair. He can spin around and fly around and spears raining from the sky.
I wonder if the 100% completion bonus is just going to be you can now play as Bandana Waddle Dee as a player 1.
Have they done it before? With like Return to Dreamland and stuff? I genuinely don't know.
Probably.
Oh.
I don't know. I was just thinking of like Mario Galaxy, you can now play as Luigi.
Oh yeah, they show up. You can now play as Luigi. That would be cool. Because, I mean, the co-op characters are really tough. They're, like, really powerful because, you know, they just have permanent copy abilities that are really overloaded.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, yeah, that's fair because player 2 has to have something fun for the entire game. They can't, like, just constantly mix it up with player 1.
Yeah. Which does beg the question of, is Spear gonna be a copy ability, or is it just only gonna be tied to Bandana Waddle Dee?
I could see it being a copy ability just because if they're gonna throw it on Bandana Wildy, why not like just reuse the assets?
I mean, maybe, but in Star Allies, the only way to use the spear ability was to play as Bandana Waddle Dee.
Interesting. Like usual, I don't know, like Return to Dreamland, they had like everyone's ability, you know, like you get like hammer, sword, and spear if you wanted to just play like the co-op partners.
Right.
I don't know about this in here though.
Yeah. I mean, it's weird
Could
because
go
like
either way.
Meta Knight is usually when Meta Knight's playable, he's not just sword. He's sword plus wing plus hammer plus tornado plus he's like 8
Gameplay-wise,
copy
he's mostly
abilities rolled
sword
into
though.
one.
They just give him all that other stuff just so he can actually solve the puzzles.
Somewhat. He's overloaded. That's because he's an adult Star Warrior.
That's true.
Which is why he doesn't need to eat things in order to have
He's
power.
still not as cool as Kirby though.
Yeah.
It's kind of Kirby kicks his ass.
Yeah, that's because Kirby's a baby, so he has unlimited potential.
Meta Knight squandered his potential and just became
by growing up.
By becoming a narcissist with a ship of his own face on it and getting a Mexican accent.
It's Spanish.
Is he Spanish? Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's specifically Spanish, not like Mexican.
Okay. How did they get the perfect voice for Meta Knight? I don't know.
They got the perfect voice for everyone in that show.
It's true. King DDD could not sound more like King DDD.
It's very true. Yeah.
Oh, we were just talking about co-op partner.
Yes. And so, like, the next part of the trailer, showing off the mouse elephant thingy.
Yes. So
their name was like what? Elephant?
I heard their name, but
I don't know how to pronounce it.
It's some bad pun.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're gonna
betray Kirby.
Yeah, I was gonna say we always had that nice character like who tells you go get the thing, like Mark, smell galore, and then they become like some horrible creature at the end and try to murder you.
Yeah, keep in mind the only time a new friend, quote unquote, hasn't betrayed Kirby has been Ribbon from 64. Literally the only time where they introduce a new character and they're an ally at first and they don't betray you later. It's like Kirby games follow like a very strict pattern. It's like if they're introduced as an enemy at the beginning of the game, they will become your friend later. If they're introduced as a friend in the beginning of the game, they will become your enemy later.
You don't realize just how strict they are with that.
Yeah.
So yeah, this elephant thing is going to become something of like some hairy creature with a bunch of trunks on it because it's like part elephant. It's going to be terrifying.
It's going to become a mammal time god.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm excited to see what's going on with that thing. What else? We got that. What other basic plot stuff is there? It looks like there's some town that you're bringing the Wild D's back to.
Okay, so yeah, this is actually really important.
Okay.
This seems like a major crux of the game is that the point of the game, you're going through the levels to rescue the Waddle Dees at the end. Akin to Sonic rescuing the little woodland creatures. What's they're called?
Flickies.
The Flickies, yeah. So in this one, Kirby's rescuing the Waddle Dees. As you bring Waddle Dees back to the town, by collecting them, you will grow the town and build it up.
Yeah, that's
so
fun.
Like the first time they show it, it's already completed more or less, or at least mostly completed. But then we see like later in the trailer a shot of it, like when it's uncompleted. I want to say, or maybe they show it initially uncompleted. Either way,
Either way, yeah, the town gets built up and gets
yeah.
cooler as you play.
As you unlock, more Waddle Dees, you'll unlock more buildings.
Yeah.
Those like specific thresholds you have to meet in order to have certain facilities.
Did they make this clear, or are Waddle Dees like end of the level like the fish in Splatoon, or are they like hidden in levels like the
I
teen
wouldn't be
season
too
Rayman?
surprised if it's both.
Yeah, like maybe like special ones are like hidden that will give you like super cool facilities, like that smart Waddle Dees, like hidden behind a wall.
I don't think
And
it's going to be that. I think it's going to be that there's a main thing. There's going to be a
mhm.
Waddle Dee at the end of the level that's maybe like 3 Waddle Dees, because we see the 3 cage one, which we don't know if
Oh,
that's exclusively for bosses or if that's exclusively for end of level. And then
mhm.
there might be extra bonus Waddle Dees you have to find.
Okay.
And those will be like, how in Planet Robobot you had to find the cubes to unlock the
Yeah.
bonus levels and whatnot.
Mhm. Yeah,
Um,
exactly like that. So
yeah.
yeah, they'll probably give you cool facilities if you get extra ones. I don't know what kind of
Which,
facilities.
if there's like 3 for completing the level, and then there's 3 extra ones that are hidden throughout the level, right? Then that means each level has a total of 6 Waddle Dees to collect.
That's going to end up being a lot of Waddle Dees by the end, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean,
We're
I
making
remember
like,
there was a screenshot on like the website um that showed off like an image of like need 50 Waddle Dees in order to build this building.
okay, so yeah, it's going to be a big number.
Yeah. And I'm pretty sure there's about 5 levels per world, maybe bonus, but that might not be counting like any bonus levels or something like that. Because after we look at town, which we see the world map and stuff, you fly around it on the warp star.
Yeah, I'm sitting looking at that right now. Cool
Yeah.
looking levels I can see. It looks like there's like a mall.
Yeah. So like the destroyed, overgrown city is like the first world, and then you go into a beach world, and that's the second world. And we don't see
It's
anything
already water
past that.
world.
Yeah.
uh, we didn't see anything past that. We saw glimpses of like other stuff. Like we saw like some deserty place, like Kirby's like running around for like one frame,
Yeah.
and like around 118. Like look at that cool freezing bridge.
Yeah. So there's probably like an ice world or something.
And it was like right after that, Carnival World. I'm excited for Carnival World. That
Yeah.
is, we're gonna be fighting clowns. Is there a clown Kirby?
Yeah, there is. There's Circus Kirby.
Oh yeah,
I want to
okay.
say it was in Triple Deluxe, or maybe it
Yeah, that
was
sounds right.
Robobot.
Yeah, he flipped through flaming hoops. I
Yeah.
don't remember now. This game looks
Um,
really pretty. I'm just like looking
yeah,
at
it
those like
does.
Vista shots in the trailer, where it's like,
Yeah, it looks
whoa.
really good. But to
um,
talk about the world map a little bit, if you take a look, you can see all the main levels and stuff. And
mhm.
they're all indicated with like dots. There's like a dot, 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 and then a bigger
Yeah,
dot.
but yeah, I see it.
But then surrounding those look like other extra levels
Yeah, it looks like a
with
weird kind of
that are marked
star,
with
like
like
a
stars.
yeah, like a weird misshapen like white star thing.
And I think those
Huh.
might be like bonus levels that you have to unlock or something. Like
Yeah,
maybe there's like
looking.
a hidden pathway in each level that'll
Oh, and
unlock
that's
like a bonus mini level or something.
yeah. These are on the overworld to tell you, hey, there was a secret nearby in one of these levels that's next to it, like that, like something like that.
Yeah. Kind of like the secret exits in Mario World.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be too
Hmm.
surprised if that's what those are.
Yeah. Either that, or maybe you just need some sort of collectible to open them or something. I don't know.
Maybe.
Like was that how the cubes work in Robobot? I haven't played Robobot since
How
the
the
game.
cubes worked is if you got all of them in a given world, you would unlock a bonus level in that world.
Okay. Okay, I couldn't remember how that worked out in my head.
Yeah. But before we move on from the town and stuff, I want to talk about the town a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because we kind of didn't touch on everything in there. And
Yes.
the first thing I want to talk about is that one building with the squirrel and and the copy ability hat.
Yeah, I saw that. I'm not sure what
So
that's.
I've seen a lot of people talk about it and stuff, and out of the like I've heard a lot of different things from people being like, oh, it could be this and this and that, and I'm just sitting here being like, there's one person in particular, or like
Okay.
one type of people saying it where it's like obviously those people are right, which is that it's the ability scrolls from Squeak Squad. They're bringing that back.
Oh.
It's obviously that.
Oh, okay.
It's
Huh.
like people are like, oh, maybe it's some kind of cosmetic thing where you can change the look of copy abilities. So it's like, no, that's stupid. It's obviously ability scrolls from
My
Squeak
first thought,
Squad.
my first thought was, they just have the obligatory ability room if you just want to go in there and get a specific ability.
I mean,
Like,
maybe it could also, work as both of those in theory.
the scrolls and Squeak Squad were like combinable, weren't they? Like I said,
I don't
this
remember
little game,
exactly how they worked, but if my memory serves
like,
me, it's like you would collect a scroll and then you would unlock a new power up for a specific ability.
yeah,
Like you would unlock a new move or something like that. Something
yeah,
along
it
those
adds a new
lines.
effect to the ability.
Yeah, and
Interesting.
that seems like obviously what this is. It's like a shop where you can buy ability scrolls with some kind of currency.
That could work because don't think they're going to start you off with the abilities having like 500 functions like they do in something like Return to Dreamland. They might maybe start
Yeah.
simple and then you can get better. That sounds like more of a 3D game progression than.
Yeah. And I
Yeah.
wouldn't be too surprised if they're removing lives and are now just going to be like, you can just buy stuff with the stars you pick up and stuff,
Yeah, yeah. You could just lose some
buy
stars when
power
you die.
ups and whatnot. Yeah. Or
Um,
just lose progress when you die. What's so wrong with just getting sent back to your last checkpoint?
it's
you
true.
know? I like the lives are really pointless and counterintuitive in Kirby because like the game is so easy, most players will never like ever get a game over. And if you're so bad at the game that you're getting game overs, there shouldn't be a reason that they're getting punished. Because
Yeah.
it's a Kirby game. The whole point is that it's easy and not punishing.
They're
So it's
just there.
very like odd design
The
to
only
have
reason they're
them at all.
still in Kirby or really any 2D platformer is because they need to give some sort of encouragement for you to explore. And they can't, and it's, I don't know, they can give you more meaningful stuff, but that's hard.
Well, the thing is, especially with like the last couple of Kirby games, um, and like especially like Triple Deluxe and like Robobot, they added like the little charms and stickers that you can collect, and that's already incentive enough. And those are better to find than one ups, because it's like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, new little
You know.
thing, it's collectible, and they're randomized too. So even if you're replaying a level,
Yeah.
you get a new one. So
That's a nice compromise. Yeah, I'm fine with lives just being gone. Did we
yeah.
really see a HUD even at all? Like, I don't know.
No, but that's not unusual for trailers to just hide the HUD.
That's true. I'm just curious.
It's very rare that we ever see a HUD in a video game trailer. Talk even further on the collectibles and stuff. We see the gotcha machine,
Yeah.
and I wouldn't be too surprised if you have to spend your currency there as well to get the little gotcha figures. And
Yeah,
those are going to
'cause
be the new replacements for the charms and stickers.
probably. Trying to remember what the charms were useless, weren't they? The stickers you could put on your mech in Robobot, and that
Yeah,
was
the
cool,
stickers you
right?
can put on your mech. The charms were just there to look at.
um, yeah, that's fine. Kirby can go collect amiibo in this game, I guess.
Yeah.
um, what else is going on in the town? Looks
Well,
like
there's the Coliseum in the back, which that
yeah,
seems to be probably a later game thing. Like I wouldn't even be so surprised if you don't unlock that until post game, and that's
yeah, that's just
supposed to
like the
be
arena.
the arena,
Yeah,
and that this big hub town is effectively going to replace the main menu.
yeah, that's I mean, there might be like a basic main menu, but
you know, it's just
yeah.
like outside of just start game and selecting your file
Yeah,
and
yeah.
whatnot. This is going to be the menu screen instead of selecting your mini games and extra bonus stuff.
Pretty much.
It would just be somewhere incorporated here, you know?
Yeah, that's probably a safe bet.
Yeah.
Hubs are fun.
They are. This one looks really good too.
Yeah. Maybe they can
Hubs
even
and
have like
3D
a little...
platformers are like the comfiest thing ever.
it's true.
Yeah. It's like that's why Ratchet 3 is the best. It's because it's the only one with a hub.
Is it really the only one?
Yeah.
Huh. But you can also work at McDonald's in this hub.
Yeah. They got mini
Just
games. There's a fishing mini game. So we already know this game is going to be amazing.
yeah.
Speaking of that fishing mini game, Kirby is wearing like a fishing hat. I do wonder if there's going to be like a fishing copy ability.
That would be
Or
cute.
if it's just for this mini game. I kind of hope so, just because I think it would be funny to
That
have
would be
Kirby
really funny.
fighting people with a fishing pole.
That would be really silly. Yeah, you just grab some. Oh yeah, you can hit with fishing pole and then throw them at other enemies or something.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great. What else?
It could kind of be like the one suplex ability, but with a better range.
Ooh, yeah, that could be like that.
Or it could work like that one stand in JoJo, the fishing pole stand from part 5.
With the guy that looks like Ferb.
Yeah.
Man, I hope we get suplex. That'd be hilarious in 3D.
Yeah. I do wonder how awesome fighting is going to be in this, though.
Oh yeah, like just doing your dive bombs.
It turns the game into God Hand.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Yeah.
I hope they give Kirby a pimp slap, just like God Hand as well. That'd be the greatest thing ever. I don't know. I don't see much else in the town other than there's a wise Waddle Dee sitting at a bench who tells you nonsense.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's looks like there's a movie theater, which I assume is just cutscenes.
Oh yeah, rewatch old cutscenes and whatnot.
Yeah. Otherwise, yeah, I don't see much in the hub,
from what we can see, with it, they don't actually show off in use at all. There's like one other ability on the second layer. Well, not ability, building. That's like marked with like a cross-shaped flower.
Okay. It looks like there's a mail place next to the restaurant. Because it looks like there's a blue star with like a speed.
Yeah, that does
thing.
look like a mal.
And there's a Waddle Dee wearing looks like a male hat. So I don't know what that could be.
Yeah. Maybe there's like a mail mini game where you have to organize mail.
You think they still have online multiplayer? I don't know. I would just see if it does. How are they going to compartmentalize that into a building?
There is like one point in the trailer where they give like an online play disclaimer or something.
Okay.
So it might incorporate some kind of online use, but I'm not sure what. Yeah. Yeah, it says like Nintendo Switch Online membership and Nintendo account required for online features. So there's going to be some sort of online features, but who knows if
just
that's
be like a Miiverse kind of thing where like you just make you get like stamps, and just put them on a level.
Yeah, that could be what the mail thing is for, or maybe it's just like leaderboards for the Coliseums and whatnot.
Yeah, something like that's possible.
Maybe they'll incorporate some kind of time trial mode into the levels. That's not too uncommon in platformers.
Yeah.
You like upload your score to the online leaderboard or whatnot.
I just realized, you know what's gonna feel so wrong? Is this game gonna have a run button? A Kirby game for run button would break my brain.
It might. I feel relatively neutral on that. You know, it's like as long as the base movement speed is fine, I don't mind not having one, but I also wouldn't mind having one.
Yeah, like half the 3D Mario games don't have one, so I guess Kirby could just like build up speed for like a second. But yeah, I think that's everything with the hub. You just got Warp Star in the middle to go to levels. Yeah.
Okay.
Simple enough. What else?
Yeah. Let's talk about the next part of the trailer, which is showing off the new copy abilities.
Yes.
Yeah. The first new one they're showing off is Drill. It functions exactly like Drill in Sonic Colors.
Drill.
Well, not exactly, but because Drill's only like used in 2D segments.
Yeah.
In that game. But yeah, you drill underground. Actually, Drill looks really cool.
It looks like if you make a shape, he'll like bust out of the ground.
Yeah, if you like do a circle, it will like create a shockwave in the circle.
Yeah, and you can pop out and get some air.
Mm-hmm.
Looks simple, like, you know, looks like a simple Kirby copy ability. I'm impressed how well they're making new ones in 3D that still feel right at home.
Honestly, Drill looks really fun.
Oh yeah,
like it's something that wouldn't really work in 2D Kirby, but it works really well in 3D Kirby. So I'm happy that they're actually using this opportunity to come up with new ideas for new copy abilities that would never work in a 2D space, really.
Mm-hmm. The drill on Kirby's forehead looks like bad hair. Well, after drill, we got
gun.
I assume, yeah, just gun. I assume it's
the title is
like
Ranger.
Safari? Ranger, okay. He has like a safari hat kind of thing.
Yeah, but yeah, it's gun. You can charge it up for a big blast. If you jump, you can do a spread attack.
I just gave Kirby a gun, finally.
Yeah.
That looks like a fun one, though. It's simple, but...
It seems more... It kind of just seems like a better version of the Archer copy ability in some ways.
Yeah, I remember Archer feeling kind of slow.
Yeah. I imagine that you could do Archer in this, but it would probably be a little slow. This seems a lot faster.
Yeah.
It's a cool new ability, though.
Yeah, I like the hat. That's the most important thing of copy abilities, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do we see any other abilities?
I think it's just those two, but I'm sure there's more in the game.
Of course. Yeah, from what I can see, it looks like that's the only two we see in this trailer. But those look like really fun little abilities.
Yeah, they look really fun.
Simple, but fun.
Next, we see a few snippets of a fake little FLV, whatever their name is, in a cage.
I don't know what the context for that's gonna be.
Made out of paper mache.
Is like, do you see it from a distance and like a boss will attract you with it or something? That's like
it could be do with something with the boss that they show off a close-up of in the next frame.
Yeah.
It's got his tongue out. You only see like a second of him. Kind of looks like a wolf mole. I think he might be a mole.
I guess the theme is just mashing weird animals together.
He's got like mole hands.
Yeah. That's weird.
And he looks like he's underground.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know.
So I think he might be a mole.
He has like one fang.
We'll have to wait and see.
But then we see another great boss design. We can see good old Tropical. He's on vacation.
Yeah, Tropical
and he has a goatee.
Woods.
I just noticed the goatee.
Yeah, he has a goatee.
Just noticed that. That's great. I love how often they try to find a way to make Wispy Woods crazy.
Yeah.
Like, what is there? Dreamland 3, he just gets up and chases you. I know.
Yeah, in Planet Robobot, it's the big metal tree that also gets up and starts chasing you.
But this is cool, and he's fat now. He's tropical. He's got cool roots. Oh,
Yeah.
I like his design.
And actually, we do see like about a few seconds of Fire Kirby in action here.
Yeah,
It looks like he's shooting fireballs.
yeah, but like stay on the ground if they hit the ground. I think.
Yeah. So maybe that'll be how fire works, or at least in a, because usually copy abilities will have like at least up to 4 moves, you know?
Yeah.
Like even Stone has that one uppercut move that no one knows even exists.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a real Kirby fan if you know that Stone has that one uppercut punch attack.
I completely forgot that existed. I usually just, unless there's a slope nearby, I instantly ditch Stone.
Valid.
It is the most boring copy ability.
Yeah. You know what? Real quick, while we're on the topic, what's your favorite copy ability, and which ones do you want to see return? Like the most.
You know, it's kind of cheating, but Smash is the best copy ability.
It kind of is.
Is it only in Amazing Mirror?
No, they brought it back a couple times. I know it's in Star Allies.
Okay, because in Amazing Mirror,
it's also in Robobot. But I think you need to use the Kirby Amiibo, the Smash Bros. One specifically, in order to unlock it. Outside of the final arena with all the copy abilities rooms, you know.
Yeah. But you mean like a favorite? It might just also just be like Fighter. It's also a basic answer, but I really like playing with Fighter because you can like bounce up people's heads with the downward attack.
Yeah. My favorite copy ability is Poison.
Oh yeah, Poison is cool.
Yeah. That one's only in Robobot, and it's like the best copy ability ever because it's just water but better. It's water, but it does damage over time.
I really like water just because you can ride into waves, but I just remembered I really like Mirror. Mirror is like the coolest ability.
Mirror is cool.
Did it make a return in Robobot?
Yep, Mirror's in Robobot. Okay.
Yeah, because that's Superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mirror's really fun, especially because it gives you the unique dashing animation where you're like reflected, and then you can split into 2 Kirbys. That's really fun.
Yeah, Mirror's really cool. I really like Poison though, because it literally is just water but better. Because it has all the same moves as water, plus a couple new ones, and then it also like leaves behind AoE sludge fields that hurt everything, and does damage over time as well.
I only see water again, although what's fun about water is a lot of it's like extra moves, which I can see them axing for 3D just because they want to keep the inputs not weird.
Yeah.
Like I like stuff like, you know, water, you can like, there's like the rainbow attack and you can shoot water out like straight up out of his head. I like the weird stuff like that with water.
Yeah.
Other abilities. They're like Yo-Yo. Was it that thing once? And
Yo-Yo's in most of the games.
Okay, I'm trying to...
I'm sure they'll probably bring back Yo-Yo.
Oh, wow, since I played a Kirby game. I should try and marathon some of them before this comes out.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. There's like a lot of the older Kirby games that I just haven't actually played that I want to.
Yeah. You know, I'd say go play some Superstar on the Switch Online thing, but Superstar Ultra is better.
I've already played through Superstar.
But then like Ultra exists.
Yeah. I've already played through Superstar. Yeah.
You ever played Nightmare in Dreamland? Or Adventure, at least?
Yeah, I played Adventure. I played the NES one, I played the SNES one. I did not play the Game Boy one. And then I didn't play like Dreamland 2 and 3. I haven't played
Dreamland 2.
Yeah.
You know what? I should really go back and play 64. I love that game.
I need to play 64 too. That's like the one I need to play.
I love 64. It's weirdly atmospheric and somber.
And I've never played Return to Dreamland all the way through.
Yeah. That game is really long though. That's like probably like the longest Kirby game.
Yeah. I really do need to go back and play through all the Kirby games I've missed.
I need to give Amazing Mirror another shot because I haven't played that since I was a kid in it. that's an intimidating game because it's huge. It's so hard to navigate. And there's no way to play the multiplayer. Like, none of its like virtual console ports included multiplayer support.
Yeah, that sucks.
Which is a big part of Amazing Mirror. Because that's a cool idea. A big Metroidvania where you're all exploring. It's like, hey, I finally found a boss. Come over here. But yeah. What else is there to talk about in Forgotten Land?
Yeah. There's just the last like 20 seconds of the trailer where it shows off a few other levels and then the arena and a Meta Knight boss.
Yeah.
And then they drop the release date, which is 3/25, so fairly soon.
Yeah. That is surprisingly soon. I'm just skimming through the trailer again, see if there's anything interesting we missed. Don't think we really did though. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. It's only like 2 months away.
Yep, me too. I can't wait to play it.
Same.
It's gonna be awesome. And on top of that, it's also Kirby's 30th anniversary.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. And I remember they announced, along with dropping this trailer, that they're gonna have a bunch of cool anniversary stuff as well.
Ooh, I hope we get. I want another cool anniversary disc like the one on Wii.
Yeah.
Or an Air Ride port. You think that could happen?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not. Nintendo is against GameCube ports for some reason.
Yeah.
Although for real, I'd like to see a port of like most of the Kirby games. Like we can't even play. There's no easy way to play the Game Boy games, is there? Even
no, they have not done a great job. With making Kirby available.
Yeah,
and
like it was fun on the Wii, but then they forgot.
Yeah.
Like, you know, Wii Virtual Console had like freaking everything.
I mean, they did add Kirby 64, or the release. They're adding Kirby 64
yeah,
online, but that's like an extra $35.
They're really tempting me with Kirby 64. I'm gonna be honest.
They are too, but I'm like, yeah. It's like I want to replay a lot of those games and play a lot of those games for the first time, but it's like also like I'm not spending that money on that. I'll just download an emulator.
Hey, they included Genesis games. They should have also included all the other Sega consoles that no one cares about. Then I would have paid $30.
I would have rather them add Game Boy and Game Boy Color games than Genesis games, honestly.
Yeah.
You know, I want to play through Mario Land 2.
I can't play Game Boy games without the Super Game Boy Color thing, where you add the color to old Game Boy games.
Well, I'm sure they would have that.
I don't know. I don't trust Nintendo to include that feature.
I think they would. I don't know. The emulation is very hit or miss. Sometimes it's pretty good, and other times it's god awful.
Yeah. I don't know why. To be fair, everyone's N64 emulation is bad.
Yeah, well, I'm not just talking about their N64 emulation. I'm talking about all of their emulation throughout their entire history of doing it.
Is there NES ever had a bad track record? I don't know. That's like, how do you screw that up?
Well, I mean, just looking at like NOS Online and stuff, it's like,
yeah,
they did an update when they were doing the Super Nintendo stuff to have like better netcode and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't put it back in the NES ones. Like, they didn't bother to update that. And they didn't include it for the N64 ones either.
That's actually great. Nintendo's strange.
Yeah.
Very. What N64 game would they have to add to get you to buy it? I'm trying to think if there's any game that, like, if they just added that, I'd be like, fine.
There isn't any.
Yeah.
You know, because like there is no N64 game that I can't play on an emulator that I could on theirs. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
It's like if it's running on your emulator, it'll run on Project 64. You know?
See, Project 64 is pretty crappy, but
there's other ones out there too. I could use those instead.
Good
And it's
old
not
Noop.
as bad as like, you know, the PlayStation 2 emulator. So
No, PlayStation 2 emulation is great. PlayStation 1 emulation is a nightmare.
no, PS2 emulation is kind of booty. To be fair, like the architecture is a lot harder to work on than say GameCube is, and that's why. And there's a lot of games that are just straight up impossible to emulate because of weird hardware tricks they used.
I'd say PS2 emulation though is honestly like in my top 4 in terms of like better experiences of emulators. Like, yeah, it's not like as accurate as like Dolphin, but the large majority of games work really well. And if they don't, there's people are obsessed about patches of them. N64 emulation though, it's like no one develops for it aside from Mario 64 speedrunning. There's just like no one working on making games work well on a lot of them.
I don't know. I'm just saying, you know, it's literally impossible to play any of the Ratchet and Clank games on the emulator. It's literally impossible to play any of the Jack games on the emulator. You know?
Yeah. Sly Cooper runs fine though.
That makes sense. Anyway, speaking of more Kirby, there was like some canceled GameCube Kirby footage that surfaced recently.
Yeah.
You know, for that canceled GameCube Kirby game, there was like some old E3 footage from, what was it, 2005?
Yeah.
E3?
Somewhere around there. Technically, it wasn't even ever canceled. It had like an 11-year development cycle.
Yeah, it kind of just eventually evolved into Return to Dreamland.
Yeah, which is just like the idea was just like a 2.5D Kirby game, which I guess 64 is as well, but more of like a back to basics one. I think was just the general idea of it originally.
Yeah. I mean, Kirby 64 isn't that far off from the basics.
I mean, yeah, but also it has like some weird gimmicks and other stuff, which, you know, there's only so far you can push Kirby, I guess.
Yeah. But yeah, there was some cool footage from that. It showed off like DDD in a mech.
Yeah, they had Robobot planned all this time. This is like some Kingdom Hearts Nomura stuff. They had this planned out.
Yeah. Have you ever seen fucking like Vermin Rex or whatever the fuck it is from Kingdom Hearts 3?
Vermin Rex?
Something like that. Okay, so really quick explaining this. So you know how Final Fantasy 15 was originally going to be called like Final Fantasy 13 Versus?
Oh, whatever. Yeah.
And it was going to have like a completely different plot, and Noctis would have looked slightly different.
Yes, I remember this
and
now.
And then it got like turned into Final Fantasy 15, and like directors were changed and stuff and whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, in Kingdom Hearts 3, there is like a fake Final Fantasy 13 Versus parody game called like Vermin Rex.
Yeah, this is coming back to me. And their main character is named Yozora. And
and it was literally just Noctis. And like at the end of Final Fantasy 3's like DLC, like the completion bonus, extra bonus cutscene was for like Vermin Rex. So like Nomura's still trying to make this shit.
That game, 15's development's really felt funny. I know there was that one point where Nomura wanted to make it a musical for 5 minutes.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure the reason was because he saw Les Mis, the film adaptation of that. Remember that one?
And it was like, wow, we need to put this in our JRPG.
And everyone, and all of the staff was just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
To be fair, doesn't Final Fantasy VI have an opera scene everyone likes?
Yeah, but that's different. There's one musical number. It's different. They're literally at an opera house when that scene happens.
I'm only familiar with the opera house because of Undertale's parody scene. Why are we talking about Vera and Rex again?
I don't remember what started this tangent.
Oh, we were talking because we said that they had been planning Robobot for like 20 years.
Right.
They had to
yeah,
just
and
like
that it was Nomura, yeah.
Nomura's plan.
Yeah. Will Nomura ever be able to make his vision for Final Fantasy Versus
I hope so.
happen?
I want to see it. Would you enjoy it more than 15?
Probably not. I can't imagine it would be very good.
I don't think...
To be fair, Nomura is like the worst writer of all time.
I'd half disagree. I think Nomura has an okay track record. It's just Kingdom Hearts is horribly convoluted.
Yeah,
but it's
also
also
he's a bad writer.
But when it works really well.
That's true. But it only works in like Kingdom Hearts 2 and like 1 as well. And like never ever. No.
Birth by Sleep has really good ideas. It's just held back by being a weird PS2 game with bad gimmicks.
Birth by Sleep is when everything gets stupid.
But it's awesome. Because it's Terra like falling from grace and Xehanort stealing his body and his soul.
To make the Keyblade.
Yeah, they go to the Keyblade graveyard where there's like millions of Keyblades because there was like an epic war and they all have like cool suits of armor on. It's so sick. I think it gets stupid in the GBA game, but you could ignore that game.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the GBA game is stupid. Kingdom Hearts 2 is good though.
Yeah. And I didn't finish 3 all the way, but I was really liking 3.
I didn't finish 3 either. Kind of got bored.
I'm enjoying talking about Kingdom Hearts is a fun series to talk about. And you know, I was worried we'd have nothing to talk about, so we can stretch this with some Kingdom Hearts. Nomura's cool. I don't know. He did other stuff. What's Nomura's other track record other than Kingdom Hearts?
Final Fantasy. He's worked on a lot of them.
Yeah, he had a lot.
I mean, okay, Nomura's a great character designer, at the very least.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a big hand in a lot of Seven's creative decisions, I know.
It wasn't that big. It's not as big as you think it was.
I don't know.
He had input and he did the character designs, but he was only like the third most important person in the team. You know,
yeah.
There was still 2 other people ahead of him calling the shots.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
it says here on Wikipedia he wrote the story for 7. He's the writer with Hironobu Sakaguchi. They both were they were co-writers.
Yeah. Guess what? He didn't write as much as the other guy did.
Okay, but I didn't realize he was the full writer. I thought he just was like...
He was the character designer and co-writer, but he was emphasis on the co part.
But, Oh, and then there's World Ends With You. I forgot that series exists. That's his...
World Ends With You is good. Unironically, World Ends With You is fucking good.
Forgot that was his baby, where everyone is anorexic. I should have known. Yeah. He's also credited as original game supervisor on Smash Ultimate for some reason.
Yeah.
What?
I hope I don't come off as a Nomura hater, because I do like Nomura. I just don't think he's a great writer.
Nomura
And I think when he has too much power, he's a very George Lucas-esque figure. Where when he's given too much power, he manages to fuck everything up. Well, he works best when there's someone above him telling him, no, that's fucking stupid. You know?
Yeah. I don't know. I appreciate complete insanity.
Yeah.
Maybe he does need
like
some
I'm
people
fine with Kingdom Hearts how it is, and I'm fine, and I like The World's End with You and stuff. Kingdom Hearts plot does get stupid, but at least it's stupid in a really fun way. It is. Honestly, my biggest problem with him is just being like going really stupid in like the Final Fantasy VII remake, where it's just like, what are you doing?
I don't know. The stupidest thing in 7 Remake was that dude on the motorcycle, and that's one of the stupidest things I've ever seen in a game, and I wouldn't trade that for the world.
No. The fucking ghost janitors were stupider.
Oh, like fighting the timeline, that's badass.
It's so dumb.
It's not as bad as Crisis Core, okay?
I guess.
It's much better than Crisis
Core. To be
Core.
fair, like almost everything that's like Final Fantasy VII, like extended universe crap is garbage. Like unironically, I would not recommend anyone consume any Final Fantasy VII media outside of the original.
Remake's the only one that's felt in the slightest to me like there's even like a vision and not just like shit like Crisis Core and what's the Vincent game entirely feel like cash-ins to me, where it's like, oh, they're so dumb.
Yeah.
Wasn't there an app Final Fantasy VII they announced? There was like an app one that was pretty much
it was like the Battle Royale.
No, there was one that was going to just pretty much practically just be a straight up remake of like the original game on mobile.
Oh, yeah. It's a remake of the original that's mobile only that follows closer to the art style and when it's much closer to what people actually wanted of a Final Fantasy VII remake.
There you go.
Yeah.
So I guess everyone's happy?
It kind of reminds me of Final Fantasy 15 Pocket Edition.
Yeah, that game had like the Bravely Default art style.
Yeah.
But like uglier.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's enough Nomura for today. He's fun to talk about. He's a auteur.
Yeah.
I think we need more people of completely unrestrained creative control in video games.
To an extent. Stuff. I can agree somewhat. There's definitely way worse people in the game industry than Nomura.
You know, I'm trying to think of Western auteur directors, and when I think of them, they're all terrible, like David Cage.
Oh, yeah. The only ones I can really think of that are, like, in a positive light, off the top of my head, are the It Takes Two guy.
Yeah,
that guy's awesome. The Psychonauts guy, Tim Schafer. He's cool.
Yeah, he's fun.
This isn't really like a specific director, but I really like Sucker Punch as a studio overall. Like I like all of their games, even their less good ones, like Second Son. I still like Second Son. It wasn't perfect, but it was fun.
Yeah. It has a bit of a tech demo feel to a lot of it, but it's fun.
It was an early PS4 game. You gotta cut it some slack.
Yeah.
There was definitely some really cool power-ups in that game, so...
Yeah, Neon and Video Game 1.
Yeah. I always feel like the Infamous games are above average in terms of the open world. Those specific style ones. Just because the superpowers actually made it fun to play, and it also wasn't trash like Prototype.
Poor Prototype. That got good reviews when it came out, but like Infamous.
You know what's funny?
Stand a test of time.
Yeah, more people remember Prototype than Infamous, I'm pretty sure, but Infamous is the way fucking better game.
You think more people remember? I think Infamous is considered a better game just because people remember it better.
Somewhat. I've seen
put it on-
I've seen it go both ways with people, honestly.
Yeah.
And I know some people like Prototype, and like, okay, I'm a little. Oh, that was a little mean on Prototype. It's not that bad.
Is it Prototype too bad?
It might be. I don't remember that at all.
See, these are like PS3 games. There's no way for me to easily play them and tell.
Yeah. Infamous is great though.
No, yeah. Infamous is cool. I've played an hour of it.
Yeah. It honestly is one of the few like open world games with the Ubisoft, style that I actually unironically like.
Yeah.
Like usually games in that genre like disgust me in an appalling way. But Infamous is just fun to traverse the world, so I think that's why. I don't really mind refighting a lot of the same bandit encampments because there's enough diversity. It's not just bandit
Spider-Man
encampments.
works as well. As long as it's fun to just run around.
Yeah. Although, you see, I didn't care that much for the combat in Spider-Man.
Honestly, I'd put Spider-Man up in terms of Western third-person action games. I'd say it's best of the best, which doesn't mean it's great because there's a lot of Japanese games that focus
way better
on that. But
I don't think it was bad. I just I liked the combat in Infamous more.
Yeah,
although they're very different. One's like a third-person shooter, the other one's melee focused.
Yeah, Infamous has more shooter elements. It's
yeah. Infamous is more or less just a third-person shooter, except you replace bullets with lightning.
Forsaken or Forspoken or whatever that's coming out looks very Infamous gameplay-wise, now that I'm thinking about it.
A little bit.
Where you just have elemental kind of attacks, but it's practically a third-person shooter.
Yeah.
Huh. Man, PS3 games, I gotta go back and play a lot of those. But they're a pain to play because I don't want to play.
They're also not that worth playing.
Yes.
A lot of them have aged very poorly, and most of them aren't really worth your time.
That was a weird era.
When I think of the best games from that generation, I think Little Big Planet 2. And I guess also the Ratchet and Clank games from that one, despite the fact that I also don't like those ones even slightly as much as the PS2 Ratchet games, It's
I was gonna say the Souls games, but they've managed to
those ones
still get entries, so it's hard to even think of them as just exclusively PS3 era because they still consistently get entries every couple of years.
At the very least, you can say they started there.
Yeah.
So Dark Souls would definitely be there. Yeah.
Yeah. That game is very 2011.
Yeah. Dark Souls has especially aged extremely well, though, compared to all the other games that came out around the same time.
Yeah.
And that's probably because it formed so much of the identity that the next 10 years would take, as it was just that influential,
It's so weird to think how the Souls gameplay kind of took over as the plug-in third-person combat thing from God of War. God of War is trying to ape on Dark Souls now.
Yeah. It kind of Dark Souls kind of was okay, this is how good video games are going to be defined for the next, 10 years in a lot of ways, It redefined what a good video game would look like, because if it looks like Dark Souls, then odds are it's a bad video game. Every AAA game has either become Dark Souls or Ubisoft, Far Cry something, And if it's Ubisoft Far Cry, then it's a bad game. And if it's Dark Souls, then it's maybe a good game.
We even got that Star Wars game. It was just let's just do Star Wars, but Dark Souls. And that worked great.
And that one was good. And then all the other Star Wars games that weren't Dark Souls were bad.
Exactly. That's the secret ingredient. Be Dark Souls.
Yeah.
2011 was a good... I know we have no topic right now, but we have nothing to talk about after Kirby, so let's just have a fun...
That's not true. There's exactly one other topic.
But you know what? I like rambling.
Yeah, we can just ramble. I don't care. No one's gonna make it this far in anyway.
We can cut it down if we ever want.
Nah, we don't need to. You're just stalling for time.
But also, speaking of Dark Souls, 2011 was a good year because I always just remembered Sonic Generations and Rayman Origins were that year.
Yeah.
So good year for platformers, at least.
Wasn't it the year Skyrim came out as well?
Yeah, I think it was. Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Oh, cool year. Oh man, and Duke Nukem Forever was 2011. Speaking of Duke Nukem Forever, at Gearbox, they found an entire like ROM of the prototype build that has the entire game finished.
Yeah.
But Randy Pitchford won't allow it to be released because he can't find out a way to charge people for it.
Duke Nukem Forever is such an odd game to me because it's one of those games that feels like it's been out for forever. But then it also was one of those games that felt like it was in development for forever.
It was. This was back in the day when like super long development cycles were a bit more unheard of. Like Duke Nukem Forever, like 4 years after it was announced, was considered like this is never coming out.
Yeah.
Like it was just a different time.
Yeah, like you gotta remember, like every single Ratchet game came out a year apart with the originals, you know?
Like first-person shooters, even back when like Duke Nukem came out, like hell, Doom 2 came out like 5 months after Doom 1, not even.
Yeah.
Like first-person shooter sequels were like not even like a year later would be like a long turnaround. Man, that game sucks.
Yeah.
Duke Nukem Forever. Duke Nukem's still cool though. Kind of. Forever kind of ruined him, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Uncharted 3 was 2011?
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah. That game. The Uncharted series. I should go back and play those again sometime. I don't know. Or not.
Yeah, or not. They're kind of really boring.
Fun. You run around, shoot people.
2 and 3 are okay. 1's really bad.
1 is pretty bad.
Yeah.
And I've only played the remastered one, and I hear that like makes it playable.
That's true. Like 1 original PS3, it was just like you had to be there when it came out for it to be acceptable on any level, you know?
When it came out, were people just calling it like a Tomb Raider knockoff?
Okay, there was like 2 sides. There were like the people who was like, this is the most impressive video game ever. This is going to change video games forever. It's like, it looks so amazing. I can't believe they were managed to get this good voice acting in a video game. It's shit like that. And we're calling it like the next coming of Jesus.
Yeah.
And like, it was going to change video games forever, which in a lot of ways it did.
For better or for worse.
Mostly for worse. And then there's the people calling it Dude Raider.
Yes, which it kind of was.
You know what's funny? The Doom Raider people were like 100% right.
They were.
But you know what's even funnier is both of those people were right.
Yeah. It was the series that managed to finally kill Tomb Raider, I guess. Because, I mean, Tomb Raider died and then it came back as just an Uncharted knockoff.
It did.
You know, for better or for worse. I don't even dislike Uncharted because I think it did nail that just be an Indiana Jones game vibe. But also, yeah, the stuff it did to the industry of how every game was a cover-based third-person shooter for a while was a bit terrifying and awful. Although I guess stuff like Gears of War is just as much to blame for that.
That's true. It wasn't just Uncharted. You know, some Streets in it game that copied it also contributed.
Yeah.
But a lot of things, it's not even like the cover third-person shooter stuff that really bugs me that's still around today about Uncharted. It's mostly the cinematic stuff, you know, of how much it wants to be a movie, that stuff. Because when Uncharted came out, that was like a novel selling point. It's just like, it feels like you're playing a movie. Was how they were selling it and advertising it. It's like it feels like you're playing an Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah, which is awesome the first time you're playing Uncharted, and I'll be real, it is really fun just for that novelty.
It's cool the first time, but then when you see 20 other games trying to do it as well, it very quickly loses the novelty and starts becoming annoying. And I don't think there's any greater example of this than, like, say, the Order 1886. Remember that game?
That game has two fates: either be forgotten forever or go down as history as like a lesson of what not to do with like game design. It's kind of fascinating.
It's kind of both.
Yeah.
You know what's funny? I remember watching like one of the early trailers for that game, and what I thought it was I thought it was Left 4 Dead, but in like London with werewolves. You know,
Victorian werewolf Left 4 Dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought it was, because it's like there was like 4 people, and they all had like fancy like steampunk-esque guns, and they were fighting werewolves. So I thought, oh, okay, it's like steampunk London versus werewolves, Left 4 Dead. And I was like, that's cool as fuck, you know?
Yeah, I'd love running around with guns shooting hordes of werewolves.
Yeah. And it wasn't that. I had to wait for like Resident Evil 8 like Mercenaries mode in order to get that. And I still didn't get the co-op aspect of it. You know?
I get Bloodborne co-op's the closest you're gonna get.
Yeah.
Run around of people in Victorian London punching werewolves. I think games have always been trying to do the cinematic thing. It's just a PS3 era, they were finally actually able to do that specific brand of it.
See, I don't really feel like they were doing that cinematic. Like, a little bit in the PS2 days in some games, maybe. Like, maybe a little bit in God of War, but not that much. Maybe a little bit in Ratchet and Clank, trying to kind of be like a Saturday morning cartoon in some aspects. But not that much. Not to the same extent that it went with Uncharted and the games following that and that were inspired by that.
Before like PS3 era, it was mostly like technical limitations, though, like that prevented that kind of thing, though.
Somewhat, but because of those technical limitations, it's also made it so that it just wasn't a thing that developers really thought about, you know?
Yeah.
They didn't think, let me make this game a movie that you play, you know?
Look at any old game review, like of like a big game, and they're calling it cinematic somewhere in there. Like even Doom, they called cinematic in all the reviews, which is hilarious looking back on, but
yeah.
It has become a dirty word, hasn't it?
At least nowadays.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's very few games that I feel like have done like the cinematic walking sequences and stuff like that good. And the only one I can think of off the top of my head that did it like really well was like Metal Gear Solid 4.
Oh, I put that as one of the worst, honestly. I think that is like the poster child of the like that has a 3-hour cutscene at the end of the game.
It's true. It does it really bad, but it's like, you know, at least those cutscenes are actually good.
Yeah, I mean, I was interested for those 3 hours.
Yeah. I really only say that as like the good thing, just because I feel like the story Metal Gear Solid 4 actually tells is like good enough to warrant it, you know?
Yeah, it's not just like mush.
But at the same time, I still kind of feel like it's way, way worse than the first 3, you know?
Oh yeah.
As a game overall. You know?
Metal Gear Solid,
and the only other one you could argue is like better or worse than it would be like 5. And 5 has like its whole other like bag of worms, you know?
5 is a great game that also, has a whole bag of worms.
Yeah, it's got a lot of issues, mostly because it's, you know, pretty much unfinished. So,
yeah, sort of. It's weird.
5's got problems. You know, the first 3 Metal Gear games, masterpieces.
Man,
4 and 5, flawed, with, you know, still worth checking out, though, you know?
The series, if it had ended at 3, would have been like the best mic drop ever. Like,
yeah. Although to be fair, I do like. I feel like 4 at least warranted its existence, or at the very least. I don't know. I really like the politics that 4 touched on. To be honest,
I do like the Patriots. Although I kind of prefer it like 2 hinting at those politics more than the entire.
I do think 2 did it better though.
Yeah.
But there's definitely a few things in 4 where like the guns being like genetically coded to people and stuff.
They just invented those in real life.
Exactly. So I was just about to say that, you know?
Kojima saw everything coming. It is terrifying.
Like, I like how Death Stranding literally predicted the future like a year after it came out.
Yeah. Our society fell apart. If more than 2 people are together at a time, a giant inky black monster will appear. So we all need to rely on mailmen.
Yeah.
Death Stranding's apocalypse is really funny because there's no they bring up specifically in autologs there's no scarcity or anything. The only problem is that people just like aren't hanging out.
It's weird.
It's really funny.
It's actually insanely scary how Kojima manages to predict the future 100% of the time.
Yeah.
With like such scary accuracy too.
Yeah, what's his next game gonna be?
I don't want to know.
I gotta go play like Police Knots and Snatcher, like just for preparation. Like who knows what's gonna be like coming next?
Yeah.
Kojima probably like predicted like I don't know. He probably predicted specific COVID variants in Police Knots or something insane. Who knows? All right.
Yeah.
Well, you have enough musing on the PS3 era.
Yeah. I guess, are we done rambling?
Yeah, that's always fun. I guess we should save this for when we ever do Let's Plays.
Oh yeah, no, this is perfect for our Let's Play material.
See, the issue is that we've been playing interesting games for our Let's Plays. We need to get some like crap that we actually won't be talking about the game the entire time.
I don't know. You like, overestimate some things. I think it'll be fine. There's only so much you can talk about any game, no matter how interesting, before you have to start rambling about dumb bullshit like this.
That's true.
You know? But to move on to the final topic, the real topic that we've just been ignoring for the past
a slow news
25 minutes. GDQ happened this week. Was it a GDQ? I think it was.
Let me go.
It's Awesome Games Done Quick, because the other one is SGDQ, which is Summer Games Done Quick.
Okay.
Right. Because there's 2 events. There's one in winter and one in the summer. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they set a new record for donations this year. They topped last year, which was their previous best. So that's very cool. Somewhere, I want to say it was 3 million something. Because I remember checking in at the very end. Because I remember it was like the last 2 ones they did was like Deltarune and then Metal Gear Solid. I remember I donated like $25 during the Deltarune one to try and reach the Snowgrave incentive. This one was... I didn't watch the full event. I only like popped in for a couple runs. I did watch the Deltarune.
I didn't hear a lot about it. I was surprised. Usually I see people like, I don't know, that did not play Celeste or something. I always see people watching the Celeste runs.
I'm not sure if they did.
Huh. I just went to their, I just checked the Games Done Quick website. They're currently hosting a VTuber speedrunning Super Metroid. But,
yeah.
Let me go check. Yeah.
I mean, I remember I watched like the Splatoon 2 run, and I watched the Deltarune runs.
Oh my
And I watched like half of the Metal Gear run.
Oh, they did a Deathloop run where they beat it in 26 minutes. I gotta watch that.
Yeah. Oh, they did a Sekiro run blindfolded?
Awesome.
I'm gonna have to watch that one.
Well, I gotta watch the Deathloop one, and once I finish the game, I got to the very end of the game and did not finish it, and I currently do not have access to a good enough PC at the moment. So,
yeah. Oh, I remember they did a Dark Souls 1 race. I know I watched like the second half of it. Because I hopped in like halfway through.
They did a Chicory speedrun.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not even painting that. It's like a... I gotta. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, these look goofy. I gotta watch some of these.
Yeah. To talk really quick on the Deltarune run in particular, because that was a pretty fun run. Talking about some of the speed running tech they used for the run, they specifically mentioned that they were doing the lesbian skip.
What is this? The lesbian skip?
Okay, so what the lesbian skip is, and this is exactly what it is when you get to the point where you would watch the cutscene with Noelle and Susie. Rouse will ask you if you wondering what Susie's doing, and you can just say no, I don't care.
My God.
And it will skip the cutscene. And that's literally what the skip is. It's just selecting no in a dialogue box and skip the cutscene, and it's called the lesbian skip.
They did a typing of the Dead speedrun. That game's on rails. How do you speedrun a game on rails?
Oh, easy. You just type faster. The faster you type, the faster the game goes. That's how it works. That's exactly how it works. The faster you kill the enemies in House of the Dead, the faster you'll progress through the game.
Okay, I thought it was like almost entirely on rails. Man, I gotta go.
No. When you kill the enemies on screen, you'll progress to the next part of the game. You know? That's how that works.
Yeah, for the most part. Okay.
So the faster you type, the, faster you'll play.
They did a Discworld speedrun.
Oh, and another thing. They did a Pumpkin Jack run, which is a little indie game. I actually have that game on like my wish list on Steam. I've had my eye on it.
I didn't finish Pumpkin Jack.
Oh, you bought it?
Oh yeah, back around like when it came out. What was that, like 2 Halloweens ago?
Yeah, because I've been keeping my eye on it ever since I noticed it. I put it on my Steam list and whatnot.
I played it like 2 Halloweens ago or so when it came out. It's right.
Yeah, but they did a speedrun on Pumpkin Jack, and the runner got a world record.
Awesome.
Yeah, for Pumpkin Jack. So that's super cool. I had a bunch of cool junk that they were raffling off, for the donation incentives and whatnot. There's like this big Deltarune blanket that they had. And they managed to secure one of the Spamton fun packs from Fangamer. It was like their last one left that they had in a supply closet somewhere. Because the Spamton fun packs, which are literally a bag of garbage being sold for like $25 on Fangamer.
A bag of garbage?
They sold out within 5 minutes. When they went up for sale.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not joking. Yeah, what's in the bag is like just a bunch of random junk. There's like a funny pencil, a Peepus maraca.
What even is Peepus? Exactly.
They're Spamton eggs.
I'm sorry I asked.
That's literally, I'm pretty sure Toby specifically said that's what they are. Because they're little blue egg-shaped things that explode into Spamton heads. So I guess they're Spamton eggs.
Spamton eggs.
Yeah.
Terrible.
I don't like the implications of this.
I don't either.
Yeah.
But yeah, we got creepy Spamton merch out here.
Yeah. Although the best part of the Spamton Fun Pack is that there's a little like door hanger thingy that has 2 sides. One of the sides says, "Beat it, kid. I'm busy becoming God. Go play Minecraft or something."
Yeah, they didn't play any Celeste this year. I think that's a crime. That's like required for games done quick. Along with Quake. They need to include Quake, considering it used to be Quake done quick.
Yeah.
There's tradition here, people.
Oh, they did Death's Door run. That's cool.
speedrunning is cool, but also terrifying. You ever try speedrunning? Or at least
Once I speedrun what is it, Katana Zero. Like it wasn't like a super serious speedrun. I was just kind of doing it casually. But that was mostly just because that game had like a speedrun mode that cut out all the cutscenes and stuff and just had the action segments.
Yeah, a lot of indie games actually have that.
Yeah, so that was just a really fun way to replay the game over and over again because it's fairly short. If you skip all the cutscenes, you can beat it in like an hour. So I would just run through the entire game a bunch because it was really fun.
I was gonna try speedrunning Hat in Time around when it came out, but I never really got around to it, and now the times are too impressive.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that game's hard to speedrun. There's like weird glitches and stuff.
Yeah.
I remember I watched a GDQ speedrun of it a while back. I don't think there was one this year, but yeah.
And Doom speedrunning is fun. It's just that you have to submit those with demos, which is annoying.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing that. I'm not recording demos. I'd have to play with a different source port.
They had a 4-way Mario Galaxy race.
4-way? I see there was a Luigi race. Super Mario Galaxy. They played it on Wii U?
I guess the Wii U must have the fastest loading times.
I guess that makes sense. It's slightly faster than Wii.
Yeah.
Yeah. Games start quick. It's always cool.
Yeah. Always a highlight. I felt it was worth talking about at least a little bit.
Yeah, I'll give it a shout out.
It's fun.
Ooh, they played Faith Chapter 2. I need to play that. Yeah. And I think that's all really our topics.
Yeah, I think that's about it. So, I'm sure most people probably stopped watching when we stopped talking about Kirby.
The rest was fun.
Yeah, the rest was for us.
Yes.
But if you made it to the end, thank you so much for somehow making it through our shitty rambling.
Yeah.
If you enjoyed this video, we would greatly appreciate it if you would like and subscribe if you aren't already. It means a ton to us and helps support the channel immensely. So we would greatly appreciate that. And if you have any thoughts on anything that we talked about, we'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments as well.
Yeah.
And with that being said, thank you so much for watching and have a wonderful evening or day or night. It's always a day. So have a good day.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
I suppose it is.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.